It's a super interesting case study. Can you grow on Pinterest with just 5 pins a day? It's a good question, and in this video we are going to talk about that because what I'm about to show you might actually blow your mind. Because if you watch my channel, you probably already know that often I recommend pinning up to 30 pins per day, because that's what I'm doing on my own account. But recently I came across something that completely challenges that idea. But of course, very quickly before I start, I want to invite you to my private community called Pin Lions. We've got more than 130 members already, and everyone is doing the same thing. Everyone is growing on Pinterest, and I see that some people are getting fantastic results, which is just awesome. So if you want to be a part of the community, if you want to get access to all of the prompts, templates, workflows, and custom tools that I created, the link is in the description. You know what to do. For now, let's go back to the video because I want to show you the results of one of our members. Okay, so one of the members of the community shared their stats yesterday, and they are currently getting almost 80,000 clicks per month. And the crazy part is that they are only posting from 5 to 7 pins per day, and that's it. No crazy automation, no 40 pins per day, like just consistent high quality pins, which is interesting because, like I said, I personally post around 30 pins on each of my accounts every single day, and that's what I usually recommend. So when I saw this, it made me very interested in the whole process. And I believe that these stats just show you the power of current trends, because as far as I'm aware, they are mainly focusing on trends and creating content around trends visible on Pinterest trends. Another really interesting thing about this account is that all of their pins are posted manually. No automation tools at all. No tailwind, no block to pin, no pin generator and stuff like that. And actually, that's the same way that I run all of my Pinterest accounts too. So it's fully manual. This is gonna be bro science, but honestly, I've seen this pattern over and over. And I know people who automate their pinning. They are using block to pin or pin generator, and their results should be better, honestly, because of the amount of pins that they are posting. It all should be better, but for some reason their stats are just not as good. In theory, if you are using automations, well, you should outperform people who are doing things manually, right? Because you are quicker, you can post more pins and so on. But in reality, not always, because maybe, just maybe, the algorithm favors real interactions. I don't know. Maybe manually posting builds some kind of hidden trust signal. I mean, we can't prove it, but I've seen enough to believe that there is something there and that you should be posting pins manually. And quite often when I heard about accounts being suspended or just banned, well, they were using automations like block to pin. So, it's just my theory. I don't want to say that block to pin or pin generator or tailwind are bad for you, because maybe there is nothing there. Maybe there is nothing wrong with using automations. But from what I've seen, very often accounts that are successful are not using automations at all. And when it comes to the stats that I showed you earlier, the stats of one of our members, well, that person is mainly focusing on seasonal and trending content. And since we are in Q4, this is the perfect time for that, because you have fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and these topics just dominate Pinterest right now. So even with fewer pins, their content hits trending keywords, and that results with skyrocketing reach. And it just proves you that Pinterest trends do matter, and if you hit the right topics at the right time, you can get insane results even with low volume of daily pins. Of course, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in January, because if most of the content is about fall or Christmas or, I don't know, Thanksgiving and stuff like that, well, probably in January the drop is going to be quite significant. Now, let's be realistic. This doesn't mean that 5 pins per day will work for absolutely everyone, because we have other members doing the same posting schedule from 5 to 10 pins per day, and their results are not as good, and they are getting like 1,000 clicks per month. So the difference is pretty huge. So clearly, pin volume is not the only factor, and it's also about the keywords, the pin design, and how relevant your content is to current Pinterest trends. Because honestly, if you are posting random stuff that no one is searching for, if you are posting about summer during winter, well, it doesn't matter how many times you post, it's not gonna get much traction. And of course, the niche plays a massive role too, because that person is focusing mainly on the fashion niche, which has a very high search volume on Pinterest. It's one of the most popular niches that you can possibly choose. At the same time, if you are in a smaller and slower niche, like, I don't know, finance, tech, productivity, like tech gadgets, stuff like that, you might not see the same level of traffic even if your content is great and even if your pins look very good. So keep that in mind when you compare the results, because the niche determines how big your ceiling really is. And when it comes to the fashion niche and the food niche and the home decor niche, that kind of ceiling, the maximum number of daily visits that you can potentially get from Pinterest is very high, because I believe there is no actual limit, and honestly, you can get thousands of visits in that niche. The main takeaway I want you to get from this video is that yes, you can grow with only 5 or 7 pins per day, and the member from my community just proves that, because they managed to grow very quickly with just 5 pins per day. But it depends on what you are pinning, how consistent you are, and whether you are hitting the right keywords at the right time. And maybe, just maybe, this is pure bro science, manual pinning may play a part in that success too. So I recommend pinning pins manually. If you are using automations, that's fine, that's up to you, but this is what I recommend, this is what works for me, and this is what worked for the member of my community. Of course, if you want to connect with that person, if you want to connect with me and chat about Pinterest and our strategies, join the PinLions community, the link is in the description. Thanks for watching this video, hopefully it was helpful, and if it was, consider subscribing to this channel. See you next time.